go see. But it was only down the road a ways. Next morning we drove off down there, and it was kind of dark and kind of foggy, and a kind of mysterious looking place, but interesting. I don't think anybody was around. So we were, and it had nice walkways and trimmed brush and everything. So we were walking along, taking pictures once in a while, and came around this one corner, and there was a concrete farm line that's been made and standing out there, but he now got a good coat of moss on him. And in the fog, dim the fog, and around this corner, Granny walks right up against that line. Anyway, that just about ended our tour.
You've all heard the story about Granny burnt the barn down, right?
No.
What?
No.
Granny tells.
What about Granny killing the sheep?
Yeah, Granny killed the sheep.
What?
Did Granny kill the sheep?
Killed all the sheep.
Yeah. Oh, the worst part was I was thinking it came from my mother-in-law.
Now they're all looking.
Yeah.
Tell them the whole story.
Well, for some reason I thought I had to make my mother-in-law a cake. It was her birthday or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I was going to make this angel food cake, but the only pan I had was, this high, not this high like an angel food. I didn't know any better.
They swole.
I got this cake all mixed up with it in the oven. Didn't it smell good? I didn't think much about it. But when I went to look at it to see if it was done, it come over the side, and it's all burnt on that side. It come over the side. So we lived out kind of in the country, so I threw it over the fence. Next morning we got up, and there were 3 dead sheep.
Dad, wrong day to take a drink.
Ma don't get it.
What did you say?
Ma don't get it.
That's the dead sheep. I didn't understand.
No, it really was the cake.
We went up and talked to the landlord and said we killed his sheep. He said no. That they eat the sprouts off of the oak trees and that kills them.
It
It
wasn't.
They
wasn't
just
my
happen to be
cake.
Maybe I need to change the recipe.
That's the
Glad I
oak
didn't serve
springs
that to the
in.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, there you go.
Get a bigger pan.
What about the burnt down the barn thing?
That was kind of funny.
Did you burn down the barn?
Yeah, well, that was
Well, that's a good start to the story anyway.
So you went to kill the
Start at the
sheep?
beginning about how come you was out there anyways.
What?
Start at the beginning about how come you got left behind to start with.
That's what I left behind. Well, we had a restaurant in town, and the house was still out in the country, so they carried me out in the country to clean house while they went to work in the restaurant. And I wasn't too happy about that. I was a teenager. I was full of treatment then. Anyway, so I got the house all cleaned up, so I had to burn the trash.
Uh-oh.
So I went out and put it in the barrel, lit the fire. I went back in to get dressed, but they come pick me up. I should have stayed out and watched the fire. Until it got down and burned up the barn.
Oh, gosh.
And we didn't have a phone in the country, and I didn't know the barn was burning. Some guy come by and came in there and said, your barn's burning back here.
It's what?
Gloom, despair.
Well, he went back to town and got the fire department to come out.
Oh, gosh.
Meanwhile, the barn is now burnt down.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really anything you
I was gonna say, what was in the barn?
The guy that was working in the lab had some kind of machinery in there that wasn't in there anymore.
It evaporated. Sort of.
But they didn't ask you to clean up anymore.
Oh.
Oh. Maybe I should try that.
Fellow behind us in the neighborhood, we lived in a neighborhood, all right, with neighbors and houses and whatnot.
Weird.
And there was a big lot.
That's amazing.
It was what?
There's a big lot right behind us that was unoccupied, and it always grew up, and we played in it all the time. This old man bought the lot, and right by himself commenced to build a house. Well, it took him years. And one time I was playing underneath it while he wasn't there for several weeks. Ripped my head open with a nail, got stitches and whatnot. But so we just turned it into our new playground. You know, when he wasn't around working, he one man.
By himself, building a house.
Yeah, it took him a long time. And
Job
he
security.
had it going pretty good. We got over there, and what made me think about it was these matches. I don't like matches. Mama smoked cigarettes, so I'd take her matches. And we'd go out there in the field, and he had the house going good, you know, but he didn't really cut down all the grass and the brush around it and stuff, so we still had forts and hidey holes and places and stuff. I was sitting over there burning matches and stuff, and that wasn't enough. We thought we'd burn some of the tar off the street. We could burn some tar. So we got the tar to burn, and all it got a little flamed up, and somebody hollered to come or whatever. I thought we did anyway. It turned out they didn't call us. We thought they called us, so we stomped on the fire and put it out. And the fire caught my shoe on fire. And we still had to go because somebody was calling us. So I tried to stomp it out, and it kind of went out, and I headed toward the house, and everywhere I'd step, it started a little fire. Tried to back up and put a little bit of it out, and it was out of hand. So we run to the house, and nobody had called us, but we did have a phone. And we called and reported there seemed to be a brush fire behind our house. Terrible situation. Come up. And fire trucks came, and we went out there and caught them on the street and escorted them to the place and helped them put out the fire. Not having no idea how it started. Or it burned down that man's house. It'd been terrible if that man's house had burned down. He was working on it all by himself.
Talk about the fire burning off the hills. A bunch of us at church in Whiteville would go on canoe trips and camp out overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Fun things to do. We built a fire one time. I'd sitting around it, everybody just talking. This woman put her foot up like this, and her soul melted right off her.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
What about you, Mom, when you got your shoes in the mud and you was trying to dry it?
Me?
Yeah.
I did something like that.
Yeah.
What'd I do?
You wasn't supposed to go to a ball game or something, and you went to a ball game.
Oh.
When I wasn't supposed to go to the ball game, I wasn't supposed to take the car out of town.
Okay.
But the ball game wasn't in town.
There was a ball game in
So we thought we'd go a sneaky way and go through the back, and we wouldn't see any cops or anything like that. We got stuck
Oh,
on the
shucks.
country road. Oh, we couldn't. 3 girls. So we
Any
found.
of the girls that were there today?
Yeah, Kay and I was. Well, I'm not sure if Joyce Dillon was. She might have been. Anyway. There was a house up there not too far, so we were going to talk to this guy. He had a tractor, and he was going to pull us out. So he pulled us out, and we started back to town. Of course, the car was muddy all over. We were muddy.
No one's ever gonna know.
So we went, I don't know where we went, somewhere and washed the car off. And kind of ourselves, too.
Yes,
And
yes.
everything we washed was good and wet, so we went down to Kay's house, because her mother wasn't home, and we put our stuff in the oven to dry. And we got it all dried out, and Mother and Dad didn't know about that until after I got married.
Oh, Lordy.
I forgot about that little episode.
Daddy has a good car stuck story. Who were you going out with at the time and got stuck or whatever it was? I don't remember the
They were
story.
going to pick up a girl, and they didn't get
Gerald
there.
lived on down here about 5 miles, but I brought a friend home from the army. His date was in town. We picked her up, started out to get this other girl. I did not know it had rained here, so I ran off into the gravel right out in the mud. Bailed out pretty good ways before I realized I was stuck. So in order to get us out, this guy took off his uniform so he wouldn't get his uniform all muddy. And we couldn't get to the second girl's house, so the first girl up in the front seat was me. This guy's outside in his shorts pushing on the car. He gets pretty well covered up with mud in the process. Come back along the road away, and we found this big water hole in the ditch, and so he crawled down in this water hole, took himself a bath, washed himself off. Never got to the second girl's house.
You ever tell her how come you stood her up?
I was so sure you were trying to get there. Probably a surprise to her too, I guess.
You've all heard the story about the chicken with the 8 legs, right?
No.
That doesn't ring a bell.
It sounds like something I would remember.
Okay, Daddy.
How come you, why don't you tell it?
I've heard of the turducken.
Turducken, yeah.
Hmm?
I've heard of the turducken.
I always think of turtle.
You don't know what the turducken is?
No, I know what it is, but I just want to say turtle.
Okay.
Anyway.
Uncle Lee and his friend Don Adair were stationed in Florida.
Remember down there today? Y'all met down.
And
I did.
my
Yeah, with Lou Ann.
mom and dad and I drove down to visit with them. And we went into a little restaurant in town.
It's over there, Lee.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Had a waitress in there just about like the one that waited on us tonight. So here's, see, I guess there were 5 people, and we each ordered
Order of
a
chicken.
fourth of a chicken. So it all came out. Here everybody gets a leg, so we got to figuring up how many legs this chicken had. So we get the calculator, and last was allowed that the waitress comes back. She gets the calculator. She got fired.
Oh
No.
Why'd she get fired?
Because she was cutting up with the
Customers.
no! The riffraff.
I had a boring job one time. I was challenged to sit at this gas station for 12 hours. And it's on the interstate, so cars would pull in, and some days, I mean, it'd be busy, and they needed 2 or 3 of us there.
That's what.
Needed 2 or 3 or 4 of us there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like these modern things. They didn't have 16 aisles, and the show wasn't self-service. We pumped the gas. We might wash the windshield. We usually would wash the windshield. That was kind of
Check the oil with something.
Check the oil it was good too, because we could sell oil, and if we sold them STP, we actually got a commission for that. So we really pushed the STP oil treatment. It's good stuff. Gotta have some. And but for periods of time, we're there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and there might be 2 hours pass, and there wasn't nobody come through, especially early before daylight. We're sitting around there, and there's this one guy, he didn't care if he ever pumped gas again. And he was older than us, so he'd make us go. And he'd sit up there and he'd prop up his feet, and he had these old, nasty looking Converse tennis shoes. And we began to approximate how long he'd sit there, and how sleepy he was, and how really asleep he was. And so we started scheming up what we were going to do for him. And so we got lighter fluid,
Oh no.
and we put it on his shoelaces,
Oh.
and we had him, I mean, he sat there, for half hour at a time. We could get one coated, or maybe the second one coated, and then we let him go. And then so we started coaxing him, oh, don't worry about it, Jack, we'll get it. I'll get this one. And so we'd take off, and he'd be just snoring. And we had him good and coated, and untied him, had him hanging down, and actually lit one of them. And we just kept waiting for him to wake up. And Bert slammed out of his shoes. He never woke up. Yeah, he didn't wake up. He didn't wake up at all. And then we thought, okay, we'll let him go get one of that. Ding, ding, ding. And he jumped up. And then run out of one of his shoes. And didn't have a shoelace. Cursed him. Where the hell are my shoes? What's wrong? We don't know.
We were pumping gas. I don't know.
No idea. Been an alien or something. And there wasn't even no evidence. Looks like he got burned or something.
I know that.
Sergeant Schultz. I didn't know that. He had to realize we did something, but he didn't pin it on us. He didn't pin that on us. Served him right. He should have got up work.
That was cool.
Oh, sorry, on 1 foot, sort of.
Ever problems there, Chase?
No. I was fine. I actually started messing with it.
Oh, it's a sibling rivalry.
More stoned.
Alright.
Morse.
Do you know what you just said?
Levi, I'm scared. Hey, that is not a long or a cute or good story, but it's a funny one a little bit. I don't remember if they heard what Mackie was telling me. Mackie and standing there with Frank about Uncle Levi.
Oh, yeah.
About him running the ditch. That was cute. It was short and sweet. I don't think they would ever heard it though. Y'all ever heard a story about your granddaddy's granddaddy? Wait a minute.
Granddaddy's daddy.
About Levi Ward himself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe.
Not that I can think of. If I did, I heard it 2 years ago.
Go
I
on,
don't remember
you got
anything.
I think I can remember. Well, anyway, Mackie's, is he like, now he called him Uncle Levi, so what kin is Mackie to y'all?
Not really.
Just
That's what
family
they call
affair.
him.
Yeah.
Mackie said he was a young boy. And so if Levi had died in the 50s, Mackie'd probably be 15. Or who knows, it doesn't matter his age. Anyway, he said he'd ride along there with his daddy. And come along, and sure enough, come up beside Levi was in the ditch. And,
In a car in the ditch or just him in the ditch?
no.
Hey guys!
Sorry. Or I guess, or truck. He didn't say what kind of vehicle it was.
You're in a vehicle in the
Yeah,
ditch.
a vehicle in the ditch. I'd heard it, sir. I heard it from him. I heard it from Granddaddy. And,
Great granddaddy maybe?
your great granddaddy.
What
What do you mean?
So, well, that's where he'd always sit. He'd always sit on that side of the table.
Okay.
did.
Over there, though. Anyway, out here too, for goodness sake. Anyway, Mackie remembers his daddy pulling up beside him. He said, "Levi, you stuck?" "Yeah." He said, "You want me to pull you out?" He said, "No." "How come?" He says, "I driv her in here, I'll driv her out." So he said, "Well, okay." He said he backed up and waited a little while to see if he could get it out. And y'all you've had any of the drove standard shifts, y'all? Have everybody?
Stick shift, yeah.
Well, you got, but it's different. It's not synchronized and stuff. Especially when it was on the column. It was real easy to, slam it from first to reverse.
Yep.
And you can.
The one he had probably on the floor.
Well, that's okay. Either way. On the column was later, I suppose. I didn't think about that. But you could slam it with a clutch back and forth, and you could make the car rock pretty good. Until you got, slapped down to when the axle hit the ground, you're done. And that's stuck. I've been stuck. More times than I need to carry my, in the places I shouldn't be at. But, so I guess Levi rocked it and got it out. They waited to see if he got it out. They didn't bother him, but they backed off and let him see if he could get it out. He did.
Huh.
How many of you met Mackie today? Probably didn't anybody register with him.
I did.
He's one you almost always see up at the Uptown.
And he's
Yeah.
wearing his cap in there today. But anyway,
He's a good fella.
Oh,
his daddy was a truck driver. And when I was about 5 or 6 years old, he came out here with a big load of cottonseed to put in our old barn. It used to be down at the bottom of the hill. On the way down, that seat that I got stuck in myself, he got stuck into it. So I was looking at it, and he was out looking at his truck, and I said, "Look to me like anybody have more sense than drive off in a mud hole like that." And then every time I saw him for the rest of his life, that's what he would say. "Like anybody have more sense than drive off in a mud hole."
Is that where you got your saying about the chemistry teacher run up a knot hole in an elm tree?
No, I said, the chemistry teacher, he told you or Rhonda one
Rhonda.
about some kind of a crocodile laid 2 eggs, and one of them come out a crocodile, and the other one come out a bird or something. That's how the species got started.
Discussing evolution and so forth.
Yes.
So I told Rhonda, I said, well, what he should have said, there was laid 3 eggs, and the third one was a chemistry teacher. So she went back and told him.
I have a good relationship with my chemistry teacher, actually.
Well, that was conversation every time we had a school
Oh,
conference.
no.
Yeah.
Is that Mr. Culver?
Yes.
Yeah.
You like him too?
I had him.
You did. Yeah, she didn't say
That answers that too.
Listen,
He probably knew she was related to me.
that's why you like chemistry so much, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't.
No. I like Mr. Shaka better.
Biology. Differences, algebra and geometry.
Kind of reminds me of that story about Allie I kicked out of the classroom, had to apologize.
But
Dad told us the story. It was our Uncle John and Aunt Allie, they're twins. And I think it was a religion class that they were in. They had to take this test, and they got the test back, and one of the questions Allie had gotten was wrong. Well, the answer was right, it just wasn't the answer that the teacher wanted. So she started getting into an argument, Finally, the teacher said, "Go stand out in the hallway." But I'm not wrong. I can't stand out in the hallway. Stood out in the hallway. At that point, Uncle John tried to calm the teacher down. Now in the hallway, there was a principal or another teacher walked by, and there was another teacher that walked by and saw Allie and said, "Why are you out here?" I was right, but I was wrong. Brought her out to the principal's office, got the teacher in there, discussed, or no, didn't do the teacher yet. They figured out what happened. Okay, so alright, the one teacher that found Allie went back, talked to the teacher that put her out there. About that time, he finally calmed down. Said, "Alright, well, what do you want her to do in order to get her back to the class so that she doesn't miss the rest of the class?" "I want her to apologize to me in front of the class." Okay, walked out, told Allie, "But I was right. You just have to apologize. That's all you got to do. You'll be back into the class and you'll be fine." Right, walked up. "Sir, I apologize for being right, even though you say I'm wrong." And he was about to blow again. The other two said, "She apologized. That's all you said." And then completed class.
Apologize for being right.
Yeah, I love it.
Your dad can tell some good sibling jokes.
Well, he usually did
Most of it.
Yeah, like a tree that walks by night.
Yeah.
I liked the one where John was doing a paper route, had to get up at like 8
Yeah.
o'clock in the
More
morning.
that one.
And he and Rich and Chip had been up playing a game, and it was like midnight or whatever. And they said, let's go change all the clocks to say, 4:30 in the morning, so that they will have John get up. So they get all the clocks changed, and they're sniggering, and then John gets up, the alarm goes off, he's like, looks at the clock, gets up, drags it upstairs, he's eating the cereal. They're giggling over here where they can't see it, right? their dad comes home. They're like, oh, Dad! In the bed. Dad comes in. What are you doing? I'm eating breakfast. What time is it? Well, it's 4:30.
I
don't even remember how they got that one sorted out. I guess
They don't know because they're in the bed, so they don't even know.
Grandpa got back in the car and was gonna go back to work.
Oh,
I don't remember if they came down at that point and said, no!
I only heard.
This is no longer funny. We're really in trouble.
That sound like the first in line for breakfast. That's probably a well-known story.
Y'all all know first in line for breakfast? No, I guess I haven't heard that one either, Dad.
We was going to parachute school. Our days started early and stayed late, and it was rigorous all day long. We all came in. We lived in a Quonset hut. There was about 20 guys in there, and we came in. It was. I guess we had supper. I'm not sure. And one guy laid down on his bunk and went sound asleep. The other 19 guys got the same idea one instant. So they all.
But it sounds good.
They all got in various stages of undress and got in their bed and turned out the light. And then somebody slammed the door and turned on the get up, guys, time to get up, time to get out. So this guy looks up and he's already dressed. He said,
this is good.
Flattened out his bed and headed down to the mess hall. So he gets down there, standing up on the right in front of the door, ready to get in. The guard came by and said, what are you doing? He said, first in line for breakfast. He said, well, it's 9:30 at night. So he would have cheerfully killed 19 people.
Get back and the door was locked.
I don't know if we had the capability of locking it or not.
I think Lee's got this one. I don't know if y'all ever heard an electrician fellow that was notorious for catching the portalet. At lunchtime, instead of going to work, he'd eat with the rest of us and do everything else with the rest of us and do all this, but it was time to go back to the workplace. He'd head off to the portalet, which was the only bathroom on the job site, and hang out for 30, 45 minutes having his daily routine in that stinky blue building. And a lot of the electricians particularly, they felt like he should be remedied from this action, but that really wasn't our problem. We were able to watch the problem be resolved. we were hanging countertops. It was building a ramada on the north side, the ramada that sits by the Cracker Barrel is where it was. Mm-hmm. It was like 6 stories tall and it's 90-something degrees. It's hot anyway. We just fed up with the guy. We were getting bored really, and so one or two of us suggested to them they ought to, sew him into that portalet. And it was near side of a hill too, so it could be handled accordingly. And so they thought it was a pretty good idea, and it was their guy, it wasn't ours. So they did it. There was about 3 of them, and they all rolled up there with about a $6 roll of duct tape. And they all 3 of them at the same time taped it to 3 different corners. And he'd been in there about 10 minutes, so apparently his britches were down by now. You know what a portalet is?
Mm-hmm.
This thing been there a while and it was getting right. He didn't care evidently, he just wanted to get out of work. So they typed it in 3 places and they started running. And they got around the thing several times, laughing and giggling and taping before he could, realize what the heck is going on here. They had him sewed in before he could open the door. And when about the time maybe he stood up or whatever to open the door, they just pushed him over the side.
Ooh.
And it rolled about twice and it come apart. And it was glue and him and liquid and
Gross.
solids and his pants undone about halfway up. He was blue and mad. We all went back to work.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah, it was nice.
We have an argument every now and then with the Browns people at Oshkosh. They always want to put a little row of porta potties in my field. I have Mustangs. You know what a Mustang does to a porta potty?
What, just the air alone? Blows it over?
Oh yeah, no question.
Easily.
So I always say, this is not a good idea. This is not a good place. You need to move these. Oh, it'll be fine. They'll do this. So first year I'm like, and it wasn't even a
It bloated
Mustang.
over.
It wasn't even a Mustang.
No,
It was
wasn't.
Mike Von Vinecar in a little BT, which is it's a basic trainer. It's smaller than a T6, but it looks like it's got a round engine on it. And it was soft. And so he was trying to power it up to get out of there. Pulled it up like this, and 3 of them went over. See? He's like, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. I told him not to put them there. The next year they put them back there. And I said, didn't we go through this last year?
Yeah, it was funny then too.
This is gonna be nice.
This time, we had a jet
Just hope
on the
nobody's
cell
in it.
line.
Was it
So
little
it had-
knockers?
No, it was the little black, the one that comes to Mantua. It was for sale.
Black one?
I forget. Anyways, and
Was it
it wasn't the
long
guy, it wasn't the sales rep,
That was 30
the guy
years
that
ago,
owns the company wasn't the one that was bringing it in. It was his son, and he brought it in and then turned it with a lot of power, and over they went again. So Pete Mall was the XO at the time, and he comes up to me and he said, we need to not do this. I said, I told him not to put them there. What do you want me to tell the guys? They're supposed to kill their engine before they turn? He said, we'll see. The next year they had them there again. And I'm like, really? This time they had a baby changing station?
Oh,
Oh,
And
no.
at that point I said, we can't do this, guys. We've blown them over 2 days running. You want 2 years running. You want somebody to have their baby in there changing it and have that go over? They moved them. And they've never put them back on my field again. Never blew it over with a Mustang. And fortunately nobody was in them either time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Nobody's ever in them.
If there's somebody in them the first time, they would have done it the second time.
They said down somewhere.
Yeah, somebody was
fasten
ready
them
to
down.
complain.
They just set them on skids and they just set them there.
It'd be, fairly dangerous just to flop one over with somebody in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, the thing come apart.
Well, and they make
Yeah.
it, we've had them go over and somebody was in it and it went over on the door.
Yeah.
So you can't even get out because you're
Oh.
on the door.
Ew.
Bummer.
When you kick the door open, the bottom comes apart too. That's where I didn't do portlets, but we were responsible for them. We delivered them, and then there was one guy that was I don't know what to call him. He had a silly name for him, because he handled the truck.
The pooper scooper?
No, that was more of
The
a
one that,
Texas
the one
A&M
that does the
thing.
cleaning out,
We just
they call
built
them the
them.
honey
We could
wagon.
assemble the 4 parts and put
Because
the
it does
base in.
smell like honey when they're cleaning them out.
Whoa, honey dipper, that's exactly what it was.
Honey wagon, that's what
Yeah,
the
the
truck
honey
is.
wagon.
He's a honey dipper, he drove the thing. That was just, I wouldn't have took that job for $10 an hour. That was when minimum wage was 2 or 3. I was going across the state working at D&D Rentals. I hated delivering them. I didn't want them in the back of my truck, me driving through town.
That's not cool looking.
Nah, I wore a big hat. If it wasn't, I don't care if it was 80 degrees, I wore a toboggan thing or something. I don't know what they were back then, but I sure would have been.
Ski mask.
Not to be identified. Oh, true story.
Richard Nixon mask.
Yeah. True. Lee knows this. And, I pulled into the drive-through window at Sun Bank, and brand new thing. Drive-ins were kind of new. Anyway, this convertible comes by me.
You wasn't at the window, you were at the ATM a couple of lanes over, right? You were at the ATM, they were at the
You're right.
window.
You're right. And why they let them do it in the drive-in windows is beyond me. But anyway, I looked over at this convertible at the drive-in window, I just glanced thinking, they're a little bit overdressed, you know. I didn't think about it, so I pulled on over to the ATM thing, cause you're right, I didn't get my card back, you know. You remember that? Yeah, we've been married a year or two. That's the same place you got pulled for not having a tag, remember?
Yes.
No matter. Sorry.
Well, not having a tag,
Don't
an
bring that
expired
up.
tag.
Little more volume.
I'm at a Sun Bank and they're in Tallahassee, and I pulled past the drive-through and I noticed a convertible car sitting at the drive-through, and you had to pass. It wasn't like they had the drive-through and the ATM in the same thing. They had the drive-through in a building, a little small box in a building, 40 feet past it in the driveway. And so when the convertible came by me a couple minutes later, the guy was pulling off a ski mask.
I thought it was a hose.
Oh, no.
Pulling
It was a
something off
hose
of it.
mask, because you could see their
It was
faces,
somewhere
but they were
between hose and-
misshapen.
Wasn't he pulling anything off the top of his head for it? It wasn't wintertime.
Right.
And this is Tallahassee, so it doesn't get cold
We
anyway.
don't have wintertime.
He's pulling off all this stuff, and I thought,
And something.
they just robbed the bank. And so I got my truck phone there, and you know, it was when phones were in the dash.
It was when phones and cards were cool.
Yeah. Then I got out of the car at the job site, and the phone would ring, it would toot the horn. I can match the phone if you want to. Well, anyway, I thought they were bank robbers. And so I proceeded to pull out behind them. And I followed him for about 100 yards, and he slammed on the gas and took off and outrun my little truck. Went around the corner, and I got to the dead end. And I now had already called 911, the cops, and they said, what does the car look like? And I gave them a report of what the car looked like and part of the tag. I didn't know where to go left or right, so I went right, didn't see anything down there, turned around and came back, and I saw the car. And I told them where the car was sitting, and they came, cops came, and it sure enough, it was a bank robber.
Really?
Yeah, but they had parked in a little strip mall, and they were gone. They ran
Got in a
through,
different getaway
got in
car.
another car and took off. And Sunbank gave us, and this was, you know, the 80s, it's what, $50, $100 now or something. I think they gave us a $50 gift certificate or a $50
I just gave $50.
cashier's check or
Deposit
something, yeah.
Wow. Just for trying to help out.
Yeah. Daddy said, what would you have done if you'd have caught him?
Yeah. Hey, put it back.
Daddy's getting good.
Shot my windshield out.
Yeah.
Daddy always has these funny things, you know, when they broke into the church up there, I took all my tools and wouldn't leave them at the apartment because it was risky, so I put them in the church. They stole the church. Didn't steal the whole church. But
That'd be impressive.
broke in.
Or you take the southeast corner, I'll take the
They broke in the church and got all my tools.
Wow.
And so the next night they came back and got the computers upstairs. And there was still stuff, so me and the biggest person I knew at my church stayed there the third night.
Moses?
Yeah. He's a 285-pound Puerto Rican. And he's big, and it was all above the belt too. This is not a fat guy. 34-inch waist and 280 pounds. And a couple baseball bats. And I told Daddy the story the next day. He said, you lost your mind. I said, what? He said, what if they come in there with a gun? You gonna bat them to death?
Yeah, I get that first.
I intended on it. That's not a good plan. Praise God, they didn't come back the third night.
What story did
We
Daddy
were,
have for?
we were camping one time, and we heard this very strange noise outside. Daddy gets up out of the sleeping bag. He goes out, and we hear that. Couldn't figure out. Daddy thought it was a bear. He goes out with the camp shovel.
That's all we had too. They
It
stole my
wasn't a bear,
shotgun
it
and
was
I
a
broke.
raccoon. It was a little
Sounded like a
raccoon,
bear.
and it was lost or something, and it was running through and
It was
yelling.
terrible.
I didn't even know a raccoon made a noise.
Baby was.
Well, when
We
he
thought
was
it was a bear,
tussling
and
with it,
that's
it was
what he said,
growling.
was after he thought about it, he said, what am I doing out here?
Isn't there, Johnny, who was the comedian? I don't remember who he was. He says, why is the official uniform of a noise in the house running around in your underwear with a bat?
That's me.
Are you looking for another guy in his underwear with a ball?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I have no idea who he is,
No.
but
That's good though.
I made it up then, it's mine.
That's a good plan.
Probably the same one that says, what is it with these horror, that, of course, you hear a noise in the house, are you gonna get up and go turn, and go look, let's go look.
Just stand at the door and wait for him to get to your room. Then smack him.
That just
No.
seems too much anticipation.
I can't do that. I gotta pursue them. So I'm downstairs with my bag.
That's why you have a little
We got a
whistle.
ball there, but looking for the guy with the ball.
It's a metal bat too.
Dad, did you say the Joe Mackey joke about the bank password?
Oh, probably. Can we do it right? Let me think. I don't know exactly how to start it. There's this guy. He's really timid. He's a joke teller. His last comic standing up. No comic books.
No comic book we were saying.
Yeah. He said
None of them were hurt.
he was always concerned about what do you use for a password. He said, he starts off by saying, I get it now. He said, I'm not racial. I've never been racist, and I'm not, somebody that would ever use the N-word. He said, no, what would be the worst thing that I could do? He says, I thought of a place I could use the N-word. I could use it for my password on my ATM card, And so he used the N-word. He said, then he went up there and he was using the N-word. He was using his password, and he says, a black gentleman came up to rob me. And he says, give me your money. He says, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, I can't do it. He says, well, give me your password. He said, I can't.
I would turn this bank robbery into a homicide.
That's exactly. Turn this bank robbery into a homicide.
I don't wanna.
I don't want to. That's what he said. He said, come on, give me your password. I can't. And the comedian's a really timid, feminine-looking guy too. It's really.
He has a
more
serious,
cute.
high-pitched voice too.
Yeah, it was well done. It fit his image.
We were laughing because they're talking about doing a movie of the Dam Busters, and they were gonna do it pretty reasonably authentic, and that was the Dam Busters.
That's a real group too.
They bunch of airplanes bombing a dam,
Oh.
and that's what they were discussing was, well, what are they gonna do about the guy's dog's name? That's what the guy's dog's name was. And how are you gonna do that in this day and age? You have to do something different. Guess you
The
could
name
call
of the guy's dog was
the guy named his dog
Okay.
Named his dog what?
the N-word.
Oh,
I
I missed that part of the story.
I'm thinking he named him Damn Buster or what?
That's what I thought. I'm like,
I was about to say, was his last name Buster?
Don Adair had a dog named Rhett. We were down below Mather's place one day trying to cut a crossing in a creek. Don was down there with his dog, and Mathers came down with us, I guess. We went up to Mather's house, and Adair's dog started barking. He said, "Shut up, Rhett. That's Mather's dog. Mather's son's name was Rhett." So they thought Adair was telling his son to shut up. So
That's the
little bit of
distant house that's in the back, right?
yeah, the one that's back
I
down.
tried to
the creek.
confuse that with Sherry and Steve today. They said they were the next house down. I'm going,
That-
with the hay bales? No. I said, so you're the house closer to the road? Well, sorta. I mean, they wouldn't really accept that title, but that's what I'd say.
They're closer to the road than Mathers.
And I said, are you back by the tip of the field? They said, not really. I said, okay, I know where you are.
I
But
thought
I bet
they
that-
were gone because they weren't in church this morning. And when they showed up, I said, I thought y'all were gone because you weren't there. And they said, we had to fix the fence.
That sounds familiar.
Gotta get his cows back. You know, he had some for a while.
Who was that?
Stephen.
Oh.
They were nice.
One more Army story.
Okay.
Our radio man had his old, he had an old convertible, had it fixed up, had a devil's head on the gear shift.
Devil's head?
Skull looking thing. And he had it rigged up with, it had a light that he could turn on by touching his knee against the side wall. He
wasn't having any screwy thoughts in his head at all.
So he was coming back from Nashville towards Fort Campbell one night, and he picked up a black guy out there hitchhiking, way out in the middle of the country. So he'd ride along. He said, told this guy, said, I understand there's some mysterious forces in this part of the country. Old black guy gets a little
perked up,
little
nervous.
He said certain things around here get the devil aroused or something like that. Well, he's already been kind of concerned about that gear shift. So he said, if you get in an area like this, so that'll make that gear shift knob come on.
Oh my.
So he's riding along, and he'd bump that, and that thing would flicker a little bit. That old black guy, I'm gonna get out right now. 20 miles from no place.
Just get out there amongst it, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was him, you don't want to get out here. It's a very dangerous area.
He was more scared about the gear shift than whatever that was outside.
He made a choice. Yeah.
Have they all heard the one about the hearse?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's heard the one about the
No,
hearse?
I haven't.
You probably. Okay, whatever. Tell her. That's a good one too.
Sometimes we just like to listen to
Yeah.
it.
There's bad ones?
So you haven't heard it, okay.
Not really. No.
In our place.
A distant cousin worked for a funeral home in Houston. And they got a call from a funeral home in Fort Worth that had a body for them to come pick up. So he left Houston with assistant driver who was black. And they drive to Fort Worth, pick up the body, and start back home. And it's nighttime and raining. And they stopped at a restaurant on the road, a roadside place. In those days, the black guy had to go in the back.
Oh.
So he went in the back, and the other guy in the front. In the front there was a soldier. Wanted to know if he could ride with them to Houston. And he said, well, I'm driving a hearse out here. Got a body in the back. He said, that don't bother me. If I could ride in have a dry ride, that's all I want. He said, okay, go out. So he went out and laid down right beside the casket and went to sleep in the back seat on the bench. So they come back out, and the black guy comes back out, and now he's driving, and start out, and the windshield wipers flicking back. And the guy in the back woke up. So he slid the glass open and said, okay if I smoke back here? So they tear off the road out in the middle of a mud field, bigger up out in the mud. The black guy bailed. I don't know the end of the story. I don't know how that turned out.
Hey, the true ones are the best ones.
Do you think that'd be some information I'd like to know?
What?
Joel, you remember hearing that?
No.
She
Somebody
remembered
had to go to sleep when he told it. You remember I was in a similar experience.
Oh.
They remember this one. But of course, was the county sheriff, and one of his responsibilities, he also ran the ambulance service. And this was the time before they had too many of the big ambulances. They had more station wagons. And they had relegated one of those to hauling bodies primarily, not caskets. You know, just a regular station wagon, short and whatnot. And they'd pick up a body somewhere, house, or with just a bag, you know. A hospital in this case. And Mama worked at the hospital all the time. She was a lab technician and she ran X-ray. And so I was up there for some reason. And Daddy came by to do something with Uncle Henry is what I used to call him, Henry Schaefer. And they came by and I needed to ride either home or wherever I was going. And they were going to ride and they were picking up a body. And he was going to drop Daddy off at the courthouse and then he's going to take the body. And the little black funeral home thing was right near the courthouse. That was all convenient for them, but it wasn't that much interested to me because I didn't want to ride with Daddy and Uncle Henry and a body. I didn't like it. I was not interested in getting in the car with Daddy. He said, get in the car, you can sit between us. I didn't have to get in the back or anything. That was a good thing. I wouldn't have got in the car. I'd have walked. So anyway, I got in the car between them. And have y'all seen my daddy? Well, you did at both of y'all did at our wedding, but maybe not otherwise.
Probably don't remember.
Yeah, I don't even remember being in
He's
the
6'4", and so he's real tall and lanky. And so with the three of us in one front seat, even if I'm 10 or 12 years old, you know, they kind of draped over me. And Daddy just had his arms back. Well, Daddy never sat in a car that he didn't do this. He's big. So we're sitting there, and they hadn't even got out of the parking lot good. You know, just pulled up to the first stop sign to get out of the parking lot. And Daddy did this, and he's laying there, or sitting there. He's here, but I'm gonna do it backwards like this. And everybody's hip to hip like this. Daddy, he stopped at the stop sign. Daddy goes. I tried to hit the mirror, man. And at that point, I did say, I'm getting out here. They wouldn't let me out. I was like, I don't want to go no further.
What about the time they had to do something about identifying the body? And they had something in the bag.
Oh, gosh.
They really know this story.
Daddy tells this one, but I did it. It was me. Just me and Ben, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Ben's now the county sheriff of our town. He beat Opie, as a matter of fact, my little brother, in the election. But me and Ben, we used to go out to the farm and feed up, and probably on a motorcycle because we wasn't old enough to drive, nothing else. And we go out to the barn, feed up, and you know, you look around the barn. I mean, anyway, we looked around. There was an ambulance parked in the barn. One of them same ambulances, station wagon looking ambulance. And what the heck is that doing in there? I think we probably at least had enough sense to feed the cows before we investigated, but I don't remember for sure. We went over there and started looking around and looking and looking and looking, and we're, you know, like here, we're not in town where there's anybody around. It's just us, a barn, and the ambulance sitting in the middle of our barn. And Daddy's Daddy, so we knew it was, you know, business. It wasn't like finding an ambulance in Granddaddy's barn. We found an ambulance in the sheriff's barn. Y'all know my daddy was the county sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know that?
Mm-mm.
He was. From the time I was 12 to the time I was 40. And I'm about 15 or 16 now. So it was kind of new to us too. I mean, it wasn't nothing we were used to. I couldn't imagine what the heck our dang ambulance is doing in our barn. And we go over and look, and finally got to really where we could see through the paint and the things on the windows and everything else. And there's a sheet and a body in the back of that ambulance sitting in our doggone barn. And that just pretty unnerved us, you know. We got off, and I don't remember if we finished feeding up or just left. Daddy's worse than that. What had happened was this fella had been took out of a culvert. You know what a culvert
Like out
is?
here when
the
you
thing that
cross
goes
the road
underneath the
out here.
driveway, except a bigger one, you know, with a highway, and the water goes under the highway, it might be a pipe 4, 5, 6 feet around it. They had killed a guy and threw him under there. And he smelled
Not
it.
his dad.
He smelled Daddy caught the fellow that did it. But they also were responsible for getting the bodies and taking them. And the funeral home did not want to keep this man overnight. It just stunk too bad. So Daddy I said, we'll haul him out there and put him in the barn and haul him to Gainesville tomorrow for the autopsy. So it was in our barn overnight. And we went out there and feed up. And Daddy didn't bother telling us.
Yeah.
He's worse than that. I told you figured out by now he's a little bit of a character. A lot of a character. We went to the jail and he picked up this package. And luckily he did it on Ben instead of on me. I probably would have been scarred for life. But this fella, he threw this bag over to Ben and he said, look at this. I was like, I wouldn't look at it. But Ben, you know, being the neighbor and more willing to trust Daddy at this point, started looking at it. He threw the bag over the corner. He said, there's 2 hands in that bag.
No.
This fella had, it was literally the same situation. They tried to determine who he was, and so they cut off his hands and sent them to another place for fingerprint analysis. And when they finished the
I
test,
thought it was just a finger.
it was hands.
Whole hand.
Yeah, from about here down. Anyway, Ben told me what it was. I didn't look it back. But when they finished the test and all that, they sent him back to Daddy. What are you supposed to do with his hands? They didn't know what to do with them either, so they sent him back to the sheriff's department where they came from.
So they gave him a hand?
Yeah.
We'll take 2. They go so fast.
No, Jason. Bad. Bad,
I win.
It's getting late.
It is getting late. I'm ready to go to bed.
I don't have a voice. I hollered till this time last night. A lot. Screamed a lot.
That's why I clapped the rest of the night.
Oh, I was nervous.
If Jesus can hear me, he'll tell me what I'm saying.
Is that all the stories?
I think that's all we have.
Oh, we have time for
We got
one.
lots of
Say
stories,
night,
but it's, yeah, we're gonna tell the night story. You gonna watch the blanket show.
Blanket
Yeah.
show.
Get involved with some sheet music.
Over a blanket.